Back here on MLB Tonight, there's Juan Soto. How does he look in a Mets, well, not a Mets uniform, but Mets garb? Looks pretty good. That bat is big. He's ready to go. But can there be more to his game than just that bat? Here he is today.
It's been great. You know, first day for me, when I started looking around the roster and everything, we have a lot of Latin players. I wasn't realizing that. And right when I go here, I was like, oh, we actually have a really good Latin community in here. And it's exciting, you know. A lot of guys that we know where we come from and how many things we got to go through. And now we are here in the biggest stage. I think it's really cool to see it. So for us, it was a really warm welcome, and I'm happy to be here. Every aspect of my game, definitely the running part, it's huge for me. So I had to be better base running and keep improving my defense. Like I said, every year, you know, it's been so close for that Gold Glove. So I try to be better every day, every year, so I can get closer and closer to that.
All right, that's interesting. And by the way, if you're like Ronnie and myself, we're mesmerized by that hat. Mesmerized by that hat. So that's new. That's their spring training hat?
Yes, very nice.
That's a good hat. Yeah, like, I don't like gimmicky stuff, but I do like that.
I'll get one for you.
Thank you, Ronnie. You'll be down there soon enough. It is interesting because, look, Juan Soto just signed a 15-year deal for $765 million. And I think what we saw, and he's addressing something specific. He's going to be age 26 coming up. But it's not like he's a bad defensive player, but he's not good. And we saw it in the World Series where singles become doubles, doubles become triples. He's also near -4 in base running runs. He's not good on the bases. Can he just address that and get better at those things? Or are those things you're usually either good at or they're young man skills and it deteriorates as you get older?
No, it's something that I think, you know, if he spent as much time on his base running and his fielding as he did on his hitting, he certainly would be a much better player in those two regards. Remember, in the postseason last year, he threw a guy out at the plate. It's in there. I saw him as a young player. I've seen him make outstanding defensive plays, but I think also I've seen him take some plays off. And that's something that you would hope that he wouldn't do in the field or on the bases. Antoine Richardson is the coach for the Mets that's in charge of those two categories. I think he's a brilliant coach, and I think he'll really help him in those regards.
He has to get baseball-y, right?
Yeah.
They call it baseball. His awareness of, like, hitting the cutoff or, knowing how many outs there are at every single play. I remember after here's the defensive alignment for the Mets. They have Jose Siri now, who's a premier defender in center field that allows them to move Brendan Nimmo out to left. Pete Alonso is back in the fold, so there he is at first base. But Soto, again, I saw him when the Nationals, remember, traded everybody around him. He was the last man standing, and he was busting his tail on every play. So that is in him as well. Can that be in you when you're fat and happy? Again, because he just signed the biggest contract domestically in the history of the game.
These traditionally, these great players are all about being great for a long period of time. So, yes, I think that he is not going to succumb to being fat and happy with a big contract. He wants to be great. He wants to be a Hall of Fame player at some point, and this would help him not only become a Hall of Fame player, but also help him his first year in the clubhouse. I mean, Lindor plays the game at an incredibly high skill rate, plays the game right. That should rub off, or at least he has the gravitas to be able to talk to even a guy like Soto and say, hey, listen, this is kind of how we do it here. We'd like to see more of that from you.
Yeah, we saw in the World Series last year, like the difference between the Dodgers and the Yankees. It was that the baseball-y skills and cutting the difference between Betts in right field and Soto in right field. There was a huge difference. Here are the defensive metrics. And again, they're not, I don't know if they tell the whole story. I don't think they do. But you see through the years, consistently poor defensive metrics. Last year with the Yankees, though, all right, defensive run saved, 0. That's league average.
Yeah.
If he's league average, you're fine. If at -1 fielding run value, that's the StatCast defensive metric, again, you're about league average, then you're fine. But we know there's room for improvement there. So your thoughts long term, at least in this time period, for him defensively and on the bases and getting better at that?
Well, first, defensively, I've seen him at both corner positions. Early in his career, he was a left fielder with the Nationals. Then he's played some right field in the Nationals, then moved to left field with the Padres, and now back to right field once he became a Yankee. I think being at one place with the Mets from now on is going to really help his kind of ease and getting it done. And as far as the base running, he's not a speed burner, so that is not going to matter at all. But I think one of the things about base running, it doesn't matter your speed. You can be a base runner and be an average speed guy. Base running is all about, it's not about the hustle part of it, even though that's huge. It's the first to third. It's taking the extra base and the ball is overthrown the cutoff. It's all the really nuanced, smart things that certainly Juan Soto knows.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't point out all of the bad stuff and didn't say, by the way, we were lauding Alex Bregman earlier for being a good at bat and Stanton in the playoffs being a good at bat. This is the best at bat in the majors. This is the premier at bat.
One of the best at bats I've seen in my broadcasting career.
You see the on base. Like he's got, you know how many guys had a 400 on base last year, Ronnie? 2. Judge and Soto.
That's right.
And he has never been below 400 in a single season in his career. You also see here last year, like a 180 weighted runs created plus. So the on base, the power, the slugging is all there. Will that power, now again, I'm not necessarily saying it's short porch, but Citi Field, does his power play the same at Citi Field?
Plays bigger, and I'll tell you why. On the pull side, if he hits it, it's always gone. But the ball he hits to left center, which he has tremendous power that way. There were a lot of F7s and F8s last year at Yankee Stadium. That ball, which is 358 at Citi Field, will be in the it will be a home run easily. So I think it's going to play even bigger next year.
Because Petco did hurt him.
It did.
Like
Oh,
when
certainly.
it went to Petco and you said, it doesn't play as much of a pitcher's park as it used to, but his home road splits were drastic.
Let's revisit in October how many home runs he had to left center at Citi Field. It'll be interesting to see. All right.
And you can get me one of those hats.
Yeah, I'll get you one of the hats.
I don't look good in a hat, but maybe
you got such great hair. So.
Thank you, Ron. You're full of compliments. So when we come back, we mentioned Alex Bregman going to the Red Sox. That means Nolan Arenado is not going to the Red Sox. We'll talk Cardinals baseball as one of their superstars reports to camp. That's next, right here on MLB Tonight.
For the third time in his career, Shohei Ohtani is the #1 player in baseball. He's going to be pitching next year. So what will it take to overtake the great Shohei Ohtani and prevent him from winning this award for the 4th time in his career? Aaron Judge hitting 70 bombs, Bobby Witt Jr. monster year, Paul Skeens with a Pedro season. What are we thinking?
Probably Aaron Judge. He beat him out when he hit 62 plus, but he just had the greatest season ever for a right-handed hitter this past year and didn't beat him out.
I think it's the same case. Aaron Judge would have to be the one to do it, and Ohtani would have to have a down season as well.
I mean, Ellie De La Cruz, 40 homers, 80 bags.
That might do it.
Throw a Gold Glove in there, too. Why not? Hey, congratulations to Shohei Ohtani, the #1 player in baseball right now. Thanks for watching.
皆さん、ここまでご覧いただきありがとうございます。
いや、いよいよメジャーリーグの頂点をめぐる新たな戦いが始まろうとしてるね。
ここ数年、大谷翔平が圧倒的な才能と多大一無二の二刀流スタイルで、世界最高の野球選手として君臨してきたよね。
彼の存在はまさに伝説級だし、毎年のように最優秀選手賞、MVP の最有力候補になってる。でも、今シーズンはちょっと違うかもよ。
どういうこと？
実はね、大谷翔平の王座を脅かす新たな挑戦者が現れたんだ。それが、フアン・ソトだ。
フアン・ソト。確かに彼はすごいバッターだけど、本当に大谷翔平のライバルになれるの？
もちろん、ソトは今までメジャーリーグで最も優れた打者の一人として活躍してきたんだよ。彼の出塁率、OBP は毎年4割を超えていて、打撃においては誰もが認める超一流の選手だ。
なるほど。でも、ホームランの数とかパワーではやっぱり大谷翔平の方が上なんじゃない？
そこが面白いところなんだ。確かに大谷翔平のパワーはすごいけど、外の最大の武器はゾーン管理能力の高さなんだよ。ストライクゾーンを完璧に把握しながら冷静にボールを見極めて打つスタイルはどんな強打者でも真似できるものじゃないんだ。
へえ、確かに選球眼が優れている選手って安定した成績を残しやすいよね。でもそれだけで大谷翔平の座を脅かせるのかな？
いいところに気がついたね。もちろん今のままでは大谷翔平を超えるのは難しい。でももし外が守備や走塁を改善してより総合力の高い選手になったらどうなると思う？
そしたらメジャーリーグナンバー1の選手になれる可能性があるってこと？
その通り。そして彼にはまだ若さという大きな武器がある。彼はまだ25歳だから、これからの成長次第で大谷翔平に匹敵する選手になれるかもしれないよ。
うわ、そう考えると今年のシーズンはめちゃくちゃ楽しみになってきた。
でしょ。しかも外は今シーズンからニューヨーク、 メッツでプレーすることになったんだ。新しい環境と新しいチームメイトが彼にどんな影響を与えるかも気になるよね。
そういえば、メッツにはフランシスコ、リンドーアやピート、アロンソみたいな強打者がいるよね。彼らと一緒にプレーすることで、外の打撃もさらに伸びる可能性があるかも。
その通り。さらに、シティ、フィールドという球場は、外の打撃スタイルにぴったりなんだよ。特にレフトセンターへの打球が伸びやすくなるから、ホームランの数も増える可能性が高いんだ。
いや、そう聞くと、ますます外がどこまで成長できるのか気になってきた。
でしょ。それに、もし外が今シーズン、OBP420 以上、本塁打40本、WRC+190 以上の成績を残したら、どうなると思う？
大谷翔平と MVP を争うことになる。
その可能性は十分あるよ。しかも、大谷翔平がもし怪我などで投手としての出場が制限されたら、外がトップに立つチャンスも増えるはずだよね。
うわ、それは本当に面白い展開になりそうだね。
そうだね。もちろん、大谷翔平の偉大さは誰もが認めるところだけど、不安、外もまた、新たな時代を築く可能性を秘めた選手なんだ。
そうなると、2025年シーズンの MVP レースはめちゃくちゃ激しくなりそうだね。
そうなんだよ。今年のメジャーリーグは、まさに、大谷翔平、vs、不安、外、という新たなライバル関係が生まれるかもしれない。
いや、こんなにワクワクするシーズンが始まるなんて、今から楽しみすぎる。
皆さんはどう思いますか？不安、外は大谷翔平を超える存在になれると思いますか？それとも、大谷翔平の二刀流は唯一無二で、彼の王座は揺るがないのでしょうか？
ぜひ、コメント欄で皆さんの意見を聞かせてください。そして、このメジャーリーグの新たなシーズンを一緒に楽しみましょ
う。もしこの話題が面白いと感じたら、チャンネル登録と高評価をよろしくお願いします。
それでは、また次回の動画でお会いしましょう。